What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Deadstock Media. Today we have another fresh unboxing on deck for you. We are going to be checking out one of the newest releases from the Nike team. This shoe happens to have inspirational roots from the East Coast, but it happens to have the vibes that transport a lot of people out west. With wild textures and multiple different fabrics used, all in a shoe that is having a pretty big birthday. I think we're in for a treat. Nike pulled out the big guns when they decided to team up with Boston-based retail shop Concepts for a new take on the classic iteration of the Air Max 1. And by luck of stars and sneakers releases, we happen to have a pair of the Mellow colorways here today. Before we make the jump though, I'm Tyler with Deadstock Media, and if you're into everything shoe related, I think you've landed in the right spot. We talk about new releases, old heat, upcoming hype, giveaways, and pretty much everything in between. So if you'd like to join us on this journey, why don't you go ahead and gently tap that subscribe button down below and turn on all notifications so you never have to wonder when we post. But without any further delay, let's get to it. Before we even get into the video, I want to do a little quick introduction for anybody that may not be knowing. Concepts, it's a retail shop born in Boston in the late 80s. They've since expanded to be in New York and Dubai and Shanghai, basically around the world with this stuff. Now Concepts teamed up with Nike to drop 2 releases of the Air Max 1 this season. The first of which, that we're going to check out in just a moment, is the Mellow colorway. And the second of which is not pictured here because we don't have them, is the Heavy colorway. Now both of these shoes draw inspiration from a particular music festival that happened in New York in 1969, with a lot of the fabrics and the textures and a lot of the detailing sprinkled throughout being an homage to that particular festival. Now I'm just left to imagine what that time was like because that was well before I was even a glimmer in anybody's eye. But from what I understand, there was a lot of acid wash jeans, there was a lot of military camo fatigue, there was a lot of bandanas, and it seemed like there were a lot of flowers in people's hair. I'm going to say this as a precursor. I think this video could probably be a half an hour long and I still wouldn't be able to hit on every single detail that I'd like to on this shoe. But in efforts to keep this video a consumable length, we're going to try to keep it short and sweet and to the point. But if there's anything that you see or any element that I don't really key in on that you would like to know more about, feel free to drop it in the comments. I will read and respond to every single one. So y'all, we're just gonna jump right into it. And I think those of you that have watched these videos before, you know me. I'm a sucker for the boxes, and this is no different case. Everything on this box really calls to me, from the different lettering and styling of everything we got going on here, from the flowers on the swoosh to the paisley or camo elements of the Nike, even the Concepts logo and wording on there. It's funky, it's fun, there's a lot to see. I'm just gonna say that the vibe doesn't stop there with the box. It continues with the shoe, and I mean, the first thing you're gonna see when we take this bad boy out is just the distinct nature and how many different colors and fabrics there are involved here, and just how many elements we need to break down. One of the first and most prominent elements for me is the fact that a lot of the upper is denim. So you have denim here, wrapping all around the toe, and it's that funkadelic, very much cloud-looking acid wash denim, and you even see the Concepts logo right there on the toe. The denim itself is soft and springy, which is a real nice contrast from the next fabric that I'm going to touch, and that is this canvas mud guard right here. It's much more heavy and tensile. It's a cool little color though. It definitely reminds me of an army jacket or something in that vein. And as we scroll around the shoe, I can't help but notice the bandana pattern in the back. That's dope. It even has certain like fraying to the letters of Nike. It's one of those elements that, I mean, it was obviously intentional, but it kind of draws this feeling of something that's been worn and used and a little tattered. I like it. And as we rotate to the back of the shoe, at the very top, you can see the knit portion that looks almost like a blanket, but it reads Concepts. It's one of those small details that I'm sure it was a big detail to get in there, but you could easily look past it if you didn't know what you were looking for. One more detailed element that was going to slide by me if I didn't look at this with a fine-tooth comb is the midsole. You see some speckling all the way around. And at first I thought it was just a design element. I thought it was made to look cool. But then I remember that the inspiration for this shoe was festival going. And for anybody that's been to any sort of concert series in nature, you know that your shoes are gonna show all the things that you're walking through and stepping in, and there's bound to be spots of mud on your kicks when you're done. I'm going to tip my hat to the Nike team and the concept team for that one. And then one more thing before we even get into the action shots. I'm used to hang tags. I'm not used to them being guitar picks. And if there's not something that is just more quintessential concert goer, or even just an era of the 60s, I think a guitar pick is pretty spot on. You can see the dual branding there with Nike and Concepts. Even if I don't keep this attached to this shoe, this is gonna go in like the memorabilia collection area of my shoe collection. I think we definitely need to talk about the swoosh. On one side, it's relatively stoic, seems pretty simple, tonal. But then on the other side, as you flip it over, nothing but flowers all up in your face. It's a real contrast from the other side. I think I like the flowers a little bit more. It makes the shoe a little bit more lively, and the fact that the swoosh isn't just the same standard shape it always is, I like that. I'm also gonna do the same thing and draw attention to the fact that the tag on the tongue also says the same thing, Nike and Concepts. And the tongue itself is a nice, like, velvety material that's really nice to the touch. There you have it, live and direct, a first peek at the Nike by Concepts Air Max 1 in the Mellow colorway. I myself am personally hyped to have landed this pair, especially before Air Max Day. For those of you that also aren't knowing, Air Max Day is March 26th, and it is pretty much globally known as the birthday of the Air Max silhouette. We had alluded to it earlier in the video, but 2022 actually marks the 35th birthday for the Air Max model. So when the day comes, make sure you get a cake or light a candle or pour something out for the Air Maxes in your life. And hey, if you enjoyed this video or if you took anything from it at all, feel free to drop a comment or a like down below. And if you'd like to join us on this sneakerhead journey, go ahead and gently tap that subscribe button and turn on all your notifications so you never have to worry about missing a post. This is Tyler for Deadstock Media, signing off.